not only financially, but physically, emotionally, spiritually. So just be careful what we.
Even Politico has reported on China buying up American farmland at an alarming rate.
You know what? Our rules are coming back to bite us in our ass. So hopefully y'all understand that.
Really gonna perpetrate, cause this 38 will be designated for all those that hate it like just man, I'm contemplating. Your moves you lose, now your heart you gave me. New moves, more dudes, now the top you made me. Same rules, new crews, now the first.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for clicking play. Hopefully you click the like button too. And when you have a moment later on, go to LFRFamily.com and ask me about the Bang Bang Tea. Shout out to everyone who has been purchasing the Bang Bang Tea. Y'all are dope. Y'all know who you are. Y'all know who you are. You're dope. I appreciate you. I want to hear some testimonials. Already shipped out 90% of them, okay? We're about to check out Bongino. Bongino. He's talking about what it would look like if a China invasion actually occurred. And I need to hear what it would be like from Bongino as well.
Listen, folks, it's a serious monologue here. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Listen, you can see the daggone intensity in his eyes, man. Okay, we listening.
The United States appears to be walking directly into World War III. The signs are everywhere. Pentagon's planning to send more than 100 U.S. troops to Taiwan for training in the coming months. Meanwhile, China's Xi Jinping is planning a visit to Moscow to see Putin. I'm sure they're just there to play Scrabble or whatever. Putin, who just this week, by the way, suspended participation in a nuclear arms treaty with the United States and then threatened to resume nuclear testing. That kind of sounds like a big deal. Even worse, China appears to be strengthening its support for Russia. And folks,
I'm sorry, you said that Bongino is former CIA? Oh, he's former Secret Service. Wow. So he used to protect the president's will? Okay. For real?
There's real concerns China will start supplying Russia with lethal weapons in the Ukraine war.
Wow.
Matter of fact, that just broke the other day. Meanwhile, the Biden administration just issued new sanctions against Russia. That'll do it, no worries. And they seem just fine dragging the United States directly into the war with Ukraine even more.
Because we all recognize that if we abandon Ukraine, we abandon the UN Charter itself and the principles and rules that make all countries safer and more secure.
Article 5 is a sacred commitment the United States has made. We will defend literally every inch of NATO. Every inch of NATO.
We would defend literally every inch of NATO. Every inch of NATO. So NATO is the collective of countries, right? The collective of countries who come together for essentially world peace. And they all got a will and deal in order for them to be a part of it. I don't know. There's certain things that they overlook for some of them. All right. And he's saying that we would do anything in our power to protect everyone that's a part of that. So if Ukraine is a part of it and Russia is not a part of it, they're pretty much saying that we will fight Russia to protect Ukraine. We will fight China to protect Ukraine. We will fight whoever to protect Ukraine. Biden, who would you fight to protect Palestine, Ohio? That's just one question.
Yeah, he talks tough, all right. Really do too much. But if we're plunged into a war, God forbid, with China and Russia, and China decided they wanted to invade the United States, well, what would it actually look like? Forget all the fear porn headlines. Remember that movie Red Dawn? You're going to see Chinese Communist Party army members parachuting into New York City. That's not what it would look like. What would it really look like? Well, what if I told you it's already underway? And we could describe it in 4 simple steps. First would be infiltration, right? This includes invading the universities, industries, financial institutions, technologies like TikTok, even sports and Hollywood. Infiltration's important. You got to get here first, right? If you're going to do an invasion. And why is it so important? Well, the communists have been working on it for more than a century. They even have a name for it. If you were going to call something a long march through institutions, you'd probably be telegraphing that you were intending a long march through institutions, because that's what they called it. So if the infiltration of our institutions is it actually happening? Well, here's a map of all the known Confucius institutes in the United States. You know, our educational institutions that are run by the Chinese Communist Party. Infiltration? I'd say that's a check.
Wow. Lord. Okay. So they're positioning themselves in other ways. And they've been positioning themselves in other ways. Wow. You know, and Craig, when I said companies, I corrected myself and said countries, but I've always looked at these different countries as companies because that's what they are. They're pretty much they're pretty much trying to line their pockets and serve their own personal agendas. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. It's not really about the people at this point. It's about their own personal agendas. They are running companies and they call them the name of the country, pretty much. So yeah, man, I'm with you on that.
Step 2, once you infiltrate, you need collaboration. You always need useful idiots. You need those Vichy French, like they had in World War II. You need them. Folks, this show's covered the business ties between Biden Inc. and the Chinese Communist Party for a long time. That sounds like collaboration to me. Who better to collaborate with than the big guy currently sitting in the Oval Office? The big guy. Most of you got that. The Biden family alone reportedly banked more than $31 million in business deals with Chinese Communist Party connected elites. That's quite a chunk of change.
Yeah, daggone is. And they ain't even selling shoes like LeBron James, but they getting more money from China than he is.
So first China infiltrates, then it collaborates. You need your useful idiots. You also need useful idiots in Hollywood, the culture of sports too. It always helps. Remember the freedom protests in Hong Kong in 2019? Well, during the NBA preseason, one team owner tweeted support for those protests. Gosh, was that a mistake? Of course, that ticked off the communists and other NBA heavy hitters. And when asked about it, the collaborators, who are typically outspoken NBA stars about just about everything else, they were suspiciously circumspect on the matter.
It's a really bizarre international story, and a lot of us don't know what to make of it. So it's something I'm reading about, and just like everybody is, but I'm not going to comment further than that.
So many people could have been harmed, not only financially, but physically, emotionally, spiritually. So just be careful what we tweet and we say and what we do, even though, yes, we do have freedom of speech, but there can be a lot of negative that comes with that too.
Look, only thing they gotta say is, look, I make a lot of money in China. I make a lot of money with the NBA, and the NBA told us not to talk about China because we all make a lot of money with China. I need y'all to stop messing with China because it's gonna mess up our money. But I'm gonna say some things right now that probably has nothing to do with anything, and I'm gonna act like I understand and care. I'm gonna act like I care about what you're talking about, because I do not, and I do not. I don't care, and I don't understand. But I do know I love my money. In the NBA, they love their money. And we're getting a lot of it from China right now. And y'all are putting us in a pretty peculiar situation right now, making us talk bad about the money we're receiving from China. I mean, the safety of our people in China. Because this is all about money. If you think it's about anything else, you are off your rocker. It's about money. Some people say it's about power. It might be about that too. Me, I'm more simple-minded. I think it's about money, but I could be wrong. I'm wrong all the daggone time. It don't matter. You know what I mean? Charge to my mind, not my heart. I try to pay it. I try to follow along and everything, but I don't know what they thought that they would receive from Steve Kerr and LeBron James when talking about this situation. This is like talking to the owner of Apple, trying to get him to say something negative about the people that's making his daggone iPads and iPods and all that other stuff. It ain't gonna happen. Ain't happening.
Yeah, those two had a lot to say just about everything else. You ask them about anything from bubblegum to BLM, they've got a comment, but not on China and freedom and stuff. It's above their pay grade or whatever. So why all the hush-hush, Well, just this week, the NBA inked a new business partnership with Communist China. Again.
Hey, Raymond, calm down.
Here's my shock face. And if it looks like my normal face, it's because it is. So infiltration, check. Collaboration with useful idiots, check. Sounds like the invasion plan. We're 2 steps there already. Well, you got infiltration, collaboration. In order to invade, you also need destruction.
Hey, what's going on, best auntie ever? Best auntie ever. And Katarina. Hey, Katarina.
Listen, I want to be clear. When I say destruction, I don't mean annihilation. Annihilating the country wouldn't do much good. Why would you want to invade a parking lot? I mean destruction of our society as we know it by creating chaos. What good would a Chinese Communist Party takeover of the United States be if all the resources they wanted here were destroyed? Even Politico has reported on China buying up American farmland at an alarming rate. Hard to call it a conspiracy theory, right? I mean, the left loves Politico. What do you think they're buying up the farmland for?
Farmland, housing, everything. Everything. You know what? Our rules are coming back to bite us in our ass. Hopefully y'all understand that. Listen, I'm a fan of capitalism. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. But United States is by far the most free nation in the world, right? You have all of these nationalities coming here to set up shop, to buy real estate, to buy property, to buy land, to buy anything that's going to help further their agenda back in their own homelands. We don't understand that, but we think it's all fun and games. We're getting that money, that smelly money. We get more and more and more of it. Whereas a lot of them are strategizing. They're doing things that we have not caught on to yet. Hopefully they have. Hopefully it's being investigated so that we can at least start to slow it down or get in front of it or something, because it's happening. It's happening. It may not have happened in as far as a missile being launched yet, but y'all think these balloons just hovering over our military bases is a coincidence? It's not. It's not. Ain't no use of getting scared and afraid now. Y'all better start daggone building a relationship with Jesus, but at this point, building a relationship with God. All right? And make it genuine too. Make it authentic. Let God know, look, I'm not coming to you right now because I'm afraid. I'm coming to you right now because, God, I need you, and we all need you right now. We need you more than we've ever needed you before. And we thank you for all that you've done up to this point. All right? But I'm just saying.
You think they're buying the farmland to go play tiddlywinks in the cornfields? What do you think this is, Children of the Corn? Malachi going to pop out? And Joe Biden, by the way, let a Chinese spy balloon travel across basically the entire United States over strategic military locations. And here's another not-so-fun fact. China's been sending spy balloons to other military locations around the world. Why do you think they're doing that? Crazy. It's almost like they're preparing for something if you're not an imbecile. You know what else fits at the bottom of a spy balloon? This is really bananas. Yeah, a nuclear device that can set off an electromagnetic pulse, otherwise known as an EMP. And you know what that could do? That could do really bad things.
Yep.
Like it could wipe out our entire electrical grid.
Yep.
You know, that would be bad. Like your fridge wouldn't work. You wouldn't be able to grab a cold Heineken out of the fridge, or anything else for that matter. China's even reportedly opened up police stations in the U.S.
Go ahead. China has opened police stations in U.S. and Canada to monitor Chinese citizens. What? You are out your daggone mind. Nope. No. Ain't no way. How in the hell? How we allowing other daggone countries to open up police stations in our country? I don't get that. I can get you open up whatever you want inside of your embassy. Open up whatever you want inside of your embassy and keep it there. Keep it there. And the only place you can govern is inside of that daggone embassy. You out your daggone mind. What in the world?
Really? Gosh, collaborators, it's like they're already planning for the takeover. And in Canada, they say they're here to monitor Chinese citizens, but I'm sure there's nothing to see here at all. Don't you worry about it. Just let Joe Biden take charge. He'll find the red carpet eventually. So we have infiltration. Check there. Collaboration, definite check. Destruction, they're working on it now. And finally, subjugation. Listen, I've said on this show for years, the elites in this country want a social credit system just like China's to control and subjugate the population. Useful idiots. This is why I spoke out against vaccine passports during the pandemic, and the liberal media was like, don't worry about it.
Passports would be a form of ID to gain entry to certain businesses or cultural events.
Welcome to the world of passports, which I think are a great and simple way to show that you're immune from corona.
The right would have you believe that a vaccine passport is effectively Big Brother coming for you and your family. And it just isn't.
The right-wing talking machine always has a boogeyman. And yesterday, they started complaining about vaccine passports.
What in the holy hell is a passport. Are you mean to tell me that people cannot tour the country anymore? They can't, I mean, they can't leave the country anymore and get a passport and get on the plane if they can't prove that they've had come on, bruh. You gotta be freaking kidding me. You gotta be kidding me, man. That's crazy.
Invasion? It's already begun. The infiltration's already here. The collaboration's already on the record. The destruction could be just months away. And the subjugation, they've already imported the model. But folks, listen, I don't believe America's going to go gently here. I don't want to be apocalyptic. Estimates show there are 393 million civilian-owned firearms in the United States. And there's a lot of really badass mofos in the United States. It's enough for at least one person, those firearms. That's a big problem for any country looking to conquer us. It's going to be someone really pissed off behind a lot of closed doors. I've said it before, I'm long on America. God's touched this country with something special. It's a special place for a reason. But it's up to us to save it. It ain't going to save itself.
It's up to us to save it. It ain't going to save itself. I believe that 100%, but I'm still learning about it, man. And honestly, it makes me not want to check out politics for this main reason. And I know that's not the adult thing to do. Just because something is upsetting you, something it just seems to get darker and darker and darker the more you look into it. It makes you not want to check it out. Well, guess what? That's how I feel right now, because I'm at a point in my life right now where I don't want to initiate sad feelings into my life. That's honestly where I am. Been through far too much. I've been through far too much in my lifetime. All right. But the thing is, I have to have knowledge of it, regardless if it makes me feel unsettled or not. I'm not alone. Like, I'm here with the rest of Americans who have to deal with the exact same thing. So I'm not going to be selfish about it. But one thing I will do is tell my friends, I'm going to tell you all that I don't like it. Not at all. As I'm sure you guys don't like it either. There's a bunch of stuff that goes on in this country and outside of the country in relations to how we're able to manage our relationships with other countries and their dictators and their presidents, whatever. And you all don't like it either. So who am I to say, you know what, screw this, I don't like it, I'm not looking at it anymore. You know what I mean? I want to do that sometimes, but I still want to learn as well. But I'm going to learn a lot from you all as you place whatever comments you want me to have below in the comments. And if you've yet to hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do so on your way out the door. Once again, guys, I am Van, and now we are all the LFR family. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video, hopefully inside the Patreon as well. Y'all have been amazing per usual. Love y'all. Don't forget, go to LFRFamily.com. Ask me about the Bang Bang Tea or not, because it might not be for you. All right? Love y'all. Peace.